What is up, everybody? Welcome to the official first episode of the Poor Decisions podcast. I'm your co-host, David.
And I am also co-host, Marcus.
And we welcome you to this wonderful podcast where we are going to be, well, how do we simply put it? We're going to be feeding our alcohol addiction. I think that's a nice, easy way of putting it.
I mean, that is what I would say our primary goal is. A secondary goal of maybe a little entertainment, but mostly the alcohol.
Mostly the alcohol. That's mostly why we're here. So we, of course, are happy to have you join us here today. Here on the Poor Decisions podcast, as you know, we are two brothers here that like to pour up a drink, pull up a seat, and have discussions on a multitude of topics. So today on our first episode, I decided selfishly that I wanted the first episode to be my favorite cocktail, the Moscow Mule. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Moscow Mule Monday. Let's go ahead and let's start with what we drinking today. I'm gonna go first only because I got a little sneak peek of what Marcus has over here, and it's not as nice. I don't have as nice. I have a traditional Moscow Mule. A little bit of the ice melted here, but, you know, we got the vodka, the lime, the ginger beer. We just got a traditional, and it's in a typical glass. I need to get me a little copper tin cup. But
you know, I was thinking that I almost bought like a 4-pack simply for the podcast.
Yeah.
Of like Mule Mondays. I'm gonna need it. I just didn't pull the trigger. But
yeah, same.
I'm going to.
I think we should almost consider getting engraved ones. I think it'd be worth it.
That'd be
I thought about that. Yeah. I thought that would be a cool idea.
Maybe that's the first podcast purchase.
Is the copper
engraved copper cups.
Okay, or whiskey glasses. I'm okay with that.
Either way.
Oh, look at that glass. All right, go ahead and show us what you got over there, Marcus. What you pouring up?
So, I, being a bourbon man, I went with a pretty traditional Kentucky Mule. So we have some whiskey, specifically Baker 107, for all of you whiskey snobs out there. And then your normal ginger beer, lime is kind of the only added thing, and it's supposed to have mint, but I didn't feel like grabbing mint, so there is no mint. And it is was on ice. It's a little warm right now, so ice is melted in a traditional rocks glass for whiskey.
Okay. See, I'm jealous, man. That the coloration of it, that yellowness of it was majestic.
You know, it's only fitting. It's only fitting, so I figured I had to do it this way.
My heart raced a little bit, skipped a beat. I never felt that way before when I looked at it. Oh, there it is again. But anyways, so here on Moscow Mule Monday, we decided for the first episode of this podcast that we wanted to do something special, do a little insight into us. So Marcus decided that the first episode we are going to talk about our favorite drunk stories.
You know, I figured it was only fitting that if majority of our podcast is about drunken bad decisions or decisions that we are currently making on the podcast while drinking, that we should go back to our roots. Mm-hmm. And so I think we share our greatest stories, and I think both of ours involve each other.
Yeah.
With drinking to give a little insight of who we are and what we're about.
Yeah. Well, I have two great ones, but my favorite one I'm definitely going to tell first because that one definitely involves you. Because that lives rent free in my head every day.
As it should.
So, if you're here with us today, please pour up a drink, have a seat, and join us as we tell drunk stories on Moscow Mule Monday. Cheers. All right, do you want to go ahead and start, my boy?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think I only really have... Well, let's put it this way. I only have one that I truly came up with, although we have many. But I feel like one was only really, like, good enough. So if you want to tell your secondary one first.
Oh, to warm us up a little bit?
Yeah, you're not greatest one. Warm us up a little bit. I'll go second, then you can finish it off with yours, because I do think yours is probably a little bit better than mine.
Okay. I'll start us off with, so this one, I don't believe you were there. You might have been. I'm just trying to remember, because obviously I was drunk, so trying to remember it all was a little tough. But to start it off, so it was Halloween. I don't remember the year. This is when we were still in college. I was living with Derek, girlfriend Kelsey, other girl Alicia. Won't throw out all the names, but we were living there, and we decided we wanted to have a Halloween party. And Derek, being just as much of an alcoholic, decided that he wanted to do jungle juice. So we had basically got all this fruit. We made this jungle juice, and it was good. It was strong as hell. And it was good. So as we normally do in the tradition of our house, one thing we like to do is always start off with playing King's Cup. All my true alcoholics know that that's how you always start off the night to get yourself a little warmed up, have the cards out, having fun. So we're playing a little King's Cup, and our boy Daniel is there. And he pulls the fourth king, which if you don't know, that means, it's time for you to chug the drink. Now, we always said you're supposed to chug, but realistically, if people are dumping their whole drinks in there and stuff, you kind of need to pace it on your own, because ain't nobody going to clean you up if you throw up on yourself. So then we turned around and we were playing King's Cup. Daniel pulls the fourth king, and he ends up taking the drink and ends up chugging it. Now, this is jungle juice, and at the time, I didn't see him do it. So then I was like, later on, and I was like, Daniel, where's your drink? Like, where's the King's Cup? And he was like, oh, dude, I chugged it. And I looked at him, and I said, are you fucking crazy? You chugged, like, jungle juice like that? And so he said, yeah, I did and everything. And, because Daniel ain't trying to be no bitch, so I get it. So then later on in the night, we're playing a little bit more King's Cup, and then next thing you know, he's like, hey, I got to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't care. I was gone. And so a few more minutes go by, and I'm like, Daniel's been in the bathroom quite a while. So I knock on the door. I'm like, hey, Daniel, you good in there? And I was like, oh, shit. I hope I didn't just kill this boy. So then I called Derek over. I'm like, Derek, we got to get in there. He's like, okay, I got you. So he does the card trick where you slide the card in the little thing in between the doorposts. He gets it. Finally, we bust it open. And what do I see? Lo and behold, this motherfucker is sitting on the toilet, pants down, Jimmy out, just passed out on the toilet. And I never in my life felt so bad for him until that moment. I was like, oh, Daniel, your giblets are out, my boy.
He's down bad. He'll never recover from that.
He'll never recover from that. And I just sat there. And what was funny was that after we made sure he was okay, everyone else just left and went back to the party. I was the only one that stood there and was all like, Daniel, what are you doing? We got to help you. But I was too drunk, and Daniel was already sleeping. So I said, you know what? I walked over and I said, will somebody make sure Daniel gets to the air mattress I blew up for him? So,
man, that's crazy. Someone's got to do something about that.
Yeah, I was like, dude, somebody got to handle this. I'm too drunk to help him. Otherwise, I would. Somehow he must have made it, because the next morning he was on the air mattress perfectly fine, struggling as much. But yeah, I'll never forget that. To this day, I don't look at him the same. I'm like, this poor boy had giblets out, had front, and I mean, there were girls there were men there. Just everything.
You can't recover from that. At that point, you got to change your name, go into the witness protection. Like,
absolutely,
you're done.
Daniel was his code name. I just used that for this story. He still ain't the same. So that was my second one. My first one's gonna have you, but I'll let you tell yours first. I want to see where you come.
Yeah, man. So, I don't know, sophomore year, had to been sophomore year of college. You were living with Derek. And I came over to your house, which was normal, and it was me, you, Derek, and Daniel. And for those of you who are listening, we were like the island of misfit toys. Derek is 6'5", 300 pounds. David's 6'2", you know, whatever you were at the time, 3 bills.
Yeah.
Daniel is probably 6 foot and maybe 130 soaking wet at the time. And I'm like little 5 foot, 180 pounds. Listen, I'll tell the truth. It is what it is, man.
They don't
I ain't gonna hide it.
They don't know you got that dumpy though.
They listen, man. They don't call me the Tug for nothing. And so this was right when Pokemon Go had just come out, and so we were all up, like we were on that, and we came over for the normal Friday night drink session, and we're like, "Hey, boys, let's do Jaeger bombs." And so we get, I don't know, 24 packs of Red Bull. We get 2 like handles of Jaeger, and Derek puts it down. So obviously we're all pretty intoxicated, but Derek has not reached there yet. And he's like, "Hey, we need to go get more. No one can drive. No one wants to pay for an Uber because we're all broke. Let's walk to Walmart." Well, Walmart, we thought, was maybe like a quarter mile away. No, that was like a mile and a half away, 2 miles. But the problem is we didn't just do directly mile and a half, 2 miles. No, we were on Pokemon Go, and our drunk asses are running in people's backyards, down hills and shit, and everyone's yelling at each other. I do not know how we did not have the cops called on us. We make it to Walmart, and all of a sudden we all look at each other and go, "Man, I'm sober. Are you sober?" Everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm sober." And we probably were not, in fact, sober, but we thought we were.
We said it.
And so we buy double what we bought before. And we walk all the way back to the house doing the exact same thing, running around. David! Rayquaza's over here! Running around. Didn't matter what it was.
I still never found that Charmander.
And you never will. You never will. We land back at the house. We proceed to drink all of it, pass out. And it's just like one of the most blissful nights that I just kind of like, oh, we're in front of the house, let's go to Walmart. And then all of a sudden I teleport. And now I'm in a field looking for a Bulbasaur. And then all of a sudden I teleport and we're outside of Walmart. And I was like, what are we doing here? I'm tired. I'm sweating. My shirt's sticking to my back. We get inside. We buy double what we bought before. All of a sudden we're splitting $50 each. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, we really have a problem. We need to go to talk to someone about this. And then we go all the way back doing the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. That was probably one of the most like genuine, just fun experiences that was not planned for. It was just supposed to be a chill Jaeger bomb night, and it turned into a drunken, I don't know, field trip. And I did not get my parents' consent to do it.
Bruh, way to date it, because back in the day when Pokemon Go came out, you had hella people walking around in places they didn't belong. Mm-hmm. Hella going in dangerous alleys to catch the stupid... I mean, we're talking Gen 1 Pokemon. And for what? It's just on the phone. We're not even doing anything with them. I don't even play it now.
I don't know why we were so into it, but we were. Yeah. And it became a thing.
And here we are drunk catching them.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
I remember that too. I remember walking in that cold heat. It was like cold, but we were also sweating because we were
and running around.
Yeah, I remember that because then we did get back and we were like, dude, we're so sober. And I don't know what we expected from Jaeger bombs. I mean, we literally did a Jaeger bomb night. Like, that's what we drank. Yeah.
We probably should have added something to it. Or
I'm for sure shaving a couple years off my life now.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
That and something else that I'm going to ask you about at the end.
Okay, you got it. So that's one of my fonder memories. There's a bunch, but I've just figured that was like quintessential us, crazy, not planned.
I remember that. I definitely remember that. All right, you ready to be embarrassed now?
Go right ahead. You can never embarrass me.
Okay.
More than I embarrass myself.
Let me take this sip real quick. Because this was... Okay. So, I was thinking about this earlier when I was getting ready for it. So, This was when we were living. It was this. The common denominator is always Derek and Daniel that get.
It's true, 100%.
So it was when me, Derek, and Daniel were living in those apartments up in the mountains over in. Shout out to Reno people, Summerlin, or some was it some? Yeah, some whatever. So we were living out there. We were just having a drunk, fun night. I think we had a few coworkers come over, library coworkers and everything like that. But by the time the night was kind of dimming down, they had kind of departed. Well, we were still going hard. Now, as you explained in your story, Derek is a heavy, like, he can hold his liquor. Even though I've seen that man down in the dirt, he still always bounces back. He was our sober drunk driver. Anyways. And I remember sitting there, and he was pouring our drinks, and you let him pour you one. Do you remember what it was at all?
Oh, 100%.
It was pure absinthe.
The entire night, he's like, guys, let's do absinthe. Guys, I have a bottle of absinthe. Let's do absinthe. I was like, dude, I'm not, like, no, dude. Whatever we had at the time, whatever, it was probably rum, knowing us at the time. It was probably like Sailor Jerry's or Kraken or something like that that we were drinking. It was probably Kraken.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm sticking to this. I'm not switching to absinthe. I've heard terrible things about it.
Yeah.
And I was just too inebriated to think like, oh, I shouldn't let the guy who said, let's drink absinthe all night make me a drink.
Yeah. So yeah, by no surprise, he was like, you know what? These motherfuckers ain't gonna let me drink my absinthe. We're gonna drink this motherfucker today. So what did he do? He poured you a shot that was like 93% absinthe.
Yeah.
It was like pure absinthe with like a splash of, was it even orange juice? I don't even remember what it was because there was like nothing in it.
Who knows at this point?
Yeah. So you drank it and you were like, what is this? Because you were like, this is horrendous. And he said, it's absinthe. He laughed, looked at you dead in the face, and poured you absinthe. And less than an hour later, you disappeared on us. And I was like, where did Marcus go? Where did he go? And then a little bit later, the party's still going. It's finally winding down, and me and Daniel, we obviously live there, so we're like, where the hell is Marcus? And we're like, I think it was Daniel that was like, I think he went to the bathroom. Why all my stories always end up with people in the bathroom? I don't know. So I'm like, okay, let's go check on him. We go to the door. It's locked. I'm like, I don't know which one of you motherfuckers start locking your doors around here, but you motherfuckers start locking your doors. So we're trying to open it. But the problem was that I think Derek had already knocked out. So we couldn't figure out a way to open the door. And so it had to have been almost 3 hours. We sat there, me and Daniel, on the floor of the apartment, sitting there saying, Marcus, are you okay? Hey, tell us you're okay. Can you open the door, buddy? Like, we were trying to make sure you didn't die on there. Because then your dad would come down and kick my ass, and then kick Daniel's ass, and then make me kick Daniel's ass.
That's true.
So then I was like, we sat there for 3 hours. And I could tell that within those 3 hours, me and Daniel talked and stuff. And in between that, I could tell we sobered up. Because then Daniel had the idea where he was all like, wait a minute. The bathroom is conjoined to my room. There's another way to get into the bathroom. So we sat there for 3 hours for no goddamn reason. So then I was like, get up, let's go. So we book it into his room. Sure enough, the other door was unlocked. So we go in. And what do I see? Lo and behold, Marcus laying on the floor, ass up, face down, out like a light on the floor. And we were like, this motherfucker is out. And Derek had knocked you out on that with that absinthe, bro. And so we were just like, it took us a minute to grasp because we were laughing and we were like, this poor guy. At least your pants were up.
I was literally just about to say my giblets weren't out. I can tell you this right now.
So then we I don't remember if you kind of did it on your own. You slowly got up, or like helping you up a little bit, like waking you up.
I remember coming to, and you guys were there, and I like stumbled my way out to the couch.
Yeah, so you grabbed the blanket that was on the couch, didn't even care what it was.
Nope.
You wrapped yourself in it, you rolled over away from us, and you were out the whole night.
Yep.
And me and Daniel sat there and we were like, we should stay here with him just in case. So we both blew up air mattresses on the floor and stayed while you slept on the couch. We stayed on the floor of the living room on air mattresses.
Yep.
And then the best part was, so we all woke up. We're all hungover. We're all asleep. I will never forget this. And let me tell the audience right here, right now. When I say I saw The Undertaker rise at WrestleMania, it was Marcus in the form of returning from the dead of absent. Because he was stone cold. You were stone cold. Didn't move. Next thing you know, you swooped up with the blanket still wrapped around your head like you were a nun. And you said, does anybody want to get Little Caesars pizza?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And me and Daniel were rolling.
A little $5 hot and ready. That'll fix anything.
Yeah. This man rose from the dead like The Undertaker and said, let's get Little Caesars. And then we went and got Little Caesars and we ate the whole goddamn pizza. Like, we each had a pizza. It wasn't like we each had a whole ass pizza.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just remember that, and I remember thinking, this has got to be one of Marcus's greatest. Well, one of them. I know
that was probably one of my greatest comebacks. I was dead the next day for sure, but
yeah, rose from the dead, and it was just I'll never get the nun Marcus out of my face, and you were smiling like Little Caesars, anybody?
Oh yeah, man. Pretty sure I said I'll pay. I don't care. Someone go pick it up. Yep.
Because, you know, the secret to any good drunk story is you got to have greasy food after.
Oh, the drunken food is the best part of getting intoxicated.
Yeah. Should we tell them what our usual go-to food was during our drunk stories?
Go ahead.
It was always Red Baron pizza. Was it Red Baron or was it? No, it was cheaper than that.
It was the $1.50 Tostitos.
The Tostitos
piece of cardboard
Yeah.
with a little bit of diced pepperoni.
I gave us too much credit thinking it was Red Baron. I forgot about it. And then we had those mozzarella sticks for
the
$1.
Walmart mozzarella sticks that you put in the oven, and when they came out, there was no cheese inside of them. It was all plastered on the pan.
It was all on the cheese, so we had fried cheese with some bread on the side of
it.
And the dollar pizza,
Hey, but that was bussin'.
Yeah, but I remember every single time we got drunk and ate it, we'd be like, bruh, this is the best thing in the world. We'd eat it like it was fucking Gordon Ramsay's, what's the beef Wellington.
Oh,
like,
dude.
The freshest thing you've ever had. And we only paid $5 for it.
I think, but here's the things that we haven't said about this, right? We normally got those Tostitos and mozzarella sticks. But what also did we buy when we normally did those nights? We were true degenerate alcoholics, and we would each buy 2 fourLokos.
And that's what my question. So for our hot topic, which is, our emergency question, right off the cuff, right off the rip, do you recommend fourLokos?
Okay.
Core. And if so, do you have a favorite flavor?
Do I recommend fourLokos? I will never in my life recommend fourLokos for anyone ever. That being said, they are quite effective. So, if you're going to do them, they all taste like shit. So what you do is you get the gold that is 14% rather than the normal 12%, because it's gonna taste like shit either way.
Might as well go down quicker.
Might as well get done drunk quicker with the same bad taste.
That's fair. Honestly,
that's the thing is, like, when we played King's Cup, all King's Cup were played with fourLokos. Our first game was fourLoko King's Cup, and then the second fourLoko would be drank during Cards Against Humanity or whatever other game we were playing at the time or watching, or...
We might as well have been playing Russian roulette with that thing.
Dude, honestly, I am probably... My life expectancy is probably 52 based on how many fourLokos we drank.
Bro, I was going to say, I for sure shaved years off of my life.
Now, I think we should clear it up that these aren't the original fourLokos. These aren't the ones with the caffeine and alcohol. We're not that old.
Yeah. Because those were banned in the U.S. for a long time.
They've been banned for a while, but these were just the plain 14% malt liquor, the ones that you see the homeless dude begging for money to try to go and buy to get his fix for the weekend, the night. That's us. Yes.
Yeah. So with that, I was gonna say honestly. So first of all, you're absolutely right. They all taste like shit. It don't matter what flavor you get. If I had to recommend, you say gold, which I can agree. I think I'm gonna go watermelon though, because I remember the black cherry and I remember it tasting like pure shit, and I love black cherry stuff.
Yeah.
I recommend the watermelon one. It went down a little bit better for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still tasted the sweet embrace of death on my tongue, but at least this one was not as bad.
Yeah, if I had to pick an actual flavor, I think it would be the green apple one. Just because it added that little bit of toxic sweetness to it.
You can call it zest. Ain't nobody gonna have.
No, it's not zest. It's not zest. Zest can be good.
Yeah.
What was in Four Lokos is not good, so I can't say zest.
That's straight death.
Death, yeah. The kiss of death.
But on that note, I was gonna say I have seen Four Lokos put down more people, probably about the same record as Muhammad Ali, bro. Because I've seen Four Lokos put down people all around me. I mean, we've held strong. We've had Four Loko nights. I'm definitely not gonna see 60.
No.
I'll be lucky if I make it there with how many Four Lokos we done had.
But for sure, yes.
I definitely do recommend them for if you want to get drunk, you want to get drunk cheap, and you want to have a good time with it, Four Loko. Now, if you're also going to do it, have two things that you need to have with it. Greasy food and Tums, because you are going to have heartburn like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and I think something we learned a little bit too late is get the Pedialyte.
Oh, dude, yeah, we used to
get the Pedialyte. Don't try to be a man's man and try to go and just run it raw. No.
Right.
Listen, it's not worth it.
Right.
You can go drink a Gatorade beforehand, something that tastes pretty good. And then you go and you have your fun night. And then at home, when you get home or you're at your friend's house or whatever you're doing, when you normally would chug that one glass of water and then go to sleep, instead of that one glass of water, you chug that Pedialyte, and I kid you not, it will reduce your hangover by 33%, and that's guaranteed by me, Marcus. I fully endorse and have no scientific proof, but I'm putting a number of 33% less hangover.
Experience proof.
You know what? I am an expert in this field, and therefore 33% less hangover.
I think you were the one that introduced me to Pedialyte, because I think before I used to just raw dog it and suffer. And you were like, bro, let me put you on because this will save your life. You were like, I need this. And
it does.
Ever since then, whenever I do a crazy drunk night, Pedialyte's in the basket, bro. Pedialyte has to be. Oh, it's a godsend.
Both my bachelor parties, the busted up COVID one and the actual one, Pedialyte was a game changer. Yeah. It's I can't. You know what? The real savior of this universe is Pedialyte.
For sure, they deserve all the praise. If they get rid of Pedialyte, we riot straight up.
Honestly, if they get rid of Pedialyte, I'm leaving the country. I don't know where I'll go. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know who's going to take us, but we're going to find somewhere.
We can get those passports cleared.
Listen, I hear the Russians like to have a good time drinking. So, yeah, Putin, here I come.
Here we go. But yeah, I totally forgot about the Pedialyte. Yeah, I just remembered all those times drinking that, twist the cap and everything. But
you know what? I think I have one more story. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good one.
All right.
We should be coming up here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, wrap us up.
Oh, this is perfect. Okay. So my family has property. Me and my family, we live in California. Up in Northern California, you have Shasta County, Mount Shasta, beautiful mountain. We have family property up there. Well, one year, we decide, me, David, and Daniel, that we're going to meet the other grown-up men, because they were doing work up at the property during like winter break or something. So we drive from Reno up to the property. It's like a 3.5 hour drive. We meet them there, and we're having a good time, drinking throughout the night, playing liar's dice. Like, we're drunk, but we're family drunk. Like, we're not over the top, but we have enough. And at the time, all the other guys had the trailers up there. There's a little cabin up there that fits like 5 people. So we're sleeping up at top. And we're getting that point where we're past overtired. It's been a long day. We're kind of intoxicated. And I just remember for, I don't know, 25 minutes, we literally were sitting there laughing like little girls after having, you know, a fifth of whatever we were drinking and acting like we were damn near kids playing peekaboo and shit. And I still have that video on my phone, and I look at it every once in a great while, and I think, man, like, that was a good time. I've always said my happy place is up at the property, and like being at that one of those moments, like if I die and they do like a slideshow of the best moments of your life, that one is right there. Just laughing with the boys up in the mountains, intoxicated enough to not be completely like normal. That was just a great time.
Was that the caterpillar one you're talking about?
That was the caterpillar.
Yeah, I remember that. To make a quick side note to that, yeah, we were sleeping in our tent, our little bed things, and I had the light on. We were flashing it and recording each other, and then I look at Marcus, and he was coming out of the bed like the sleeping bag, like a cat. He was like, "I'm a caterpillar." We were like making fun of him looking like a caterpillar. He had a bald head and everything.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
That's true. I remember that. Yeah, that was good. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you all for joining us on this first episode of the Poor Decisions podcast. We hope that you enjoyed. Hope you had a good drink with us. Please like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, X, all the medias, and tell us your favorite drunk stories. We'd love to hear it. That's going to do it for us. Any last words, Marcus?
Always remember, make poor decisions.
And always make poor decisions.